Welcome to the deep dive, where we aim to cut through the noise, get you informed, and right now it really feels like we're navigating this, well, perfect storm, economically speaking. You've got inflation, geopolitical stuff, the, lingering effects from the pandemic.
That's a lot hitting at once.
It really is. So it's maybe not surprising that a huge number, something like 85% of consumers, are feeling some kind of financial anxiety.
That's a staggering figure.
But here's the interesting thing that's coming out of all this pressure. A new kind of consumer seems to be emerging.
Right.
Someone who isn't just like hunting for the absolute lowest price tag anymore. They're really looking for genuine value, real comprehensive value in what they buy.
That's spot on. It's not just a small shift either. It feels like a pretty fundamental rethink of priorities. We're calling them the smart spender.
The smart spender. I like
Yeah.
that term. So, okay, what does value actually mean to these people, these discerning individuals? How are they different from someone just, trying to save every penny?
Good question.
And maybe more importantly, how are brands, the successful ones anyway, starting to adapt? That's really our mission for this deep dive, isn't it? To unpack that.
Exactly. We want to get into what value means now.
We'll be using insights from the Smart Spender, Value in a Cost-Conscious World, and also the EY Future Consumer Index, which always has some great data.
Both excellent sources for this. So yeah, let's dive in.
Okay, so setting the scene a bit more, those economic pressures, they're real.
Oh, impossible to ignore. That 85% number you mentioned about financial concern,
Yeah.
that's straight from the EY index.
Oh.
And it gets more specific. 72% of consumers told them they are intensely focused on getting, quote, value for their money.
Intensely focused.
Okay, intensely focused. But when we say smart spender, I think maybe the first thought is just bargain hunter. Scrimping and saving.
Right. The default assumption.
But you're saying it's more sophisticated than that. It's
Yeah.
not just about cheapness.
Oh, absolutely not. And that's really the key thing to grasp here. The smart spender isn't automatically grabbing the cheapest item off the shelf.
They're discerning. They're informed. They're driven by a much, much broader idea of what value actually constitutes. We call them value seekers.
Value seekers. Okay.
Price is definitely part of the calculation. Of course it is. But for them, it's just one piece of a bigger puzzle.
So they might actually pay more sometimes.
Yes, absolutely. They're willing to pay more if the overall perceived value is higher. And what's really interesting is how they use technology.
Ah, right. The research phase.
Exactly. They're really good at using tech to compare options, read reviews, check specs, really educate themselves before pulling the trigger. They do their homework.
Makes sense. So if value isn't just about the price, what is in this value equation then? What are the pieces that make up this bigger picture?
Well, at its core, you can think of value as the perceived benefit someone gets from a product or service,
Okay.
weighed against the costs they have to put in. And that cost isn't just money.
Right, not just dollars and cents.
No, it includes non-monetary costs too. Time, effort, hassle, mental energy. All of that factors in. It's about the total return on their investment, you could say.
Okay, so what are the key ingredients then? I imagine it's quite a mix.
It is, and they all kind of influence each other. First off, you've got quality. That's pretty
It's
fundamental.
how well it works, how long it lasts.
Exactly. Performance, reliability, durability. Smart spenders often see quality as a way to, reduce their mental load. If something lasts longer or works better,
Less hassle down the road.
precisely. Less worry, fewer repairs, no need to replace it quickly. That peace of mind is value. Then there's functionality. How well does it actually solve their problem or meet their need? Does it make life genuinely easier or better?
So it's not just having the thing, but what the thing does for you practically.
Exactly. Which leads nicely into convenience. Time is such a precious commodity now, right?
Definitely.
So anything that saves time, simplifies things, reduces effort, they can command a premium, people will pay for easy.
Yeah.
And that ties into the overall experience.
The whole journey, from buying it to using it.
The entire journey, from researching and purchasing through to using it, and even after-sales support. A smooth, positive, maybe even enjoyable experience adds huge perceived value.
Yeah, I can see that. Sometimes just the feeling you get from using something or from the brand itself feels really important. Like, does it fit with who I am?
You've hit on another key component. Emotional satisfaction. Does the product make you feel good? Does it align with your personal values? Does it maybe enhance your self-image? That's not trivial. It's a core part of the value for many. Then you have brand reputation. Trust is huge. A good reputation means peace of mind, less perceived risk. And increasingly, sustainability is a big one.
Ah, the ethical angle?
Right. Environmentally friendly practices,
Mm.
social responsibility.
Mm.
Consumers often see supporting that as a long-term value and investment in a better world.
Yeah.
And finally, customization.
Making it personal.
Exactly. Tailoring a product or service to individual needs makes it uniquely relevant, and that's a powerful value proposition.
Okay, wow. So when you list all those different layers, quality, convenience, experience, emotion, ethics, personalization,
Yeah.
it becomes really clear why just trying to be the cheapest just isn't enough anymore.
It's really not a sustainable strategy, is it?
Feels like a race to the bottom.
It really does. Competing only on price has some serious downsides. For starters, super low prices often make people immediately suspicious about quality or durability.
Right, you get what you pay for.
Exactly. It can lead to that false economy idea where the cheapest thing ends up costing you more in the long run because it breaks or needs replacing.
You in there?
Haven't we all? Plus, focusing only on price means you ignore all those other value aspects we just talked about. Sustainability, ethics, the customer experience. They get sidelined.
And the brand itself just becomes generic.
That's the risk. You fall into the commodity trap, your brand loses its identity, its equity erodes, and you're just competing with everyone else on price, which, as you said, is a race to the bottom.
And you probably stop innovating too, right? If all your energy is on cutting costs.
Absolutely. Innovation often takes a back seat when the sole focus is shaving pennies off the price tag. You miss opportunities to add real meaningful value in new ways.
Okay, so we understand this complex value equation and why ignoring it is risky. What are some of the big consumer trends right now that are really shaping this smart spender market? What are the sources highlighting?
Well, one trend that really jumps out is the huge rise of private label products, store brands.
Oh, yeah. How big a rise?
The data suggests something like 66%, two-thirds, of consumers now think private label options are just as good as the national brands.
Wow, that's massive. That's a real shift in thinking.
It is. It's not just about saving money, though that's part of it. It really signals a reevaluation of that premium we used to automatically put on famous brand names.
Yeah.
People are focusing more on the actual quality and usefulness of the product itself.
I've definitely noticed that myself, reaching for the store brand more often. What else? Anything about where people are spending?
Yes, definitely a trend towards focusing on at-home experiences. This was accelerated by, recent global events, but it seems to have stuck.
People investing in their homes more.
Significantly more.
Huh?
Talking home entertainment, better kitchen gadgets, comfortable furniture, home offices. People are really trying to enhance their quality of life within their own four walls, optimizing their personal space for the long haul.
Making home base better makes sense. And it feels like underneath all these trends, there's this demand for openness, transparency.
Absolutely. That's a huge one. Smart spenders, being so discerning, really expect brands to be open about their practices, where things come from, how they're made, even how they set their prices.
That openness itself becomes valuable.
It does. Transparency builds trust, which is fundamental. Brands that can authentically communicate their values and explain the why behind their pricing. They're the ones building those lasting relationships. It empowers the consumer, makes them feel they're making an informed, ethical choice.
Okay, so this leads us to the million-dollar question for businesses listening. Knowing all this about the smart spender, understanding the trends, what are the actual strategies? How can brands deliver on this complex idea of value?
Yeah, what do you actually do? It really requires a holistic view. It has to start with the product itself. Quality-focused product development.
Building it right from the start.
Investing in performance, making things durable, making sure they actually work well and solve the problem. It's not just about avoiding defects, it's about genuinely enhancing the customer's life. And tied to that is continuous innovation. Always looking for ways to improve based on feedback and changing needs.
But like you said, the best product can be let down by a bad experience.
Totally. So, enhancing the customer experience is crucial. Every touch point needs to be as seamless and, ideally, as enjoyable as possible. From browsing online to buying to getting support later.
Making it easy, making it pleasant.
And part of that experience is also education and empowerment. Giving customers the info they need. Tutorials, clear guides, maybe comparison tools.
Yeah.
Help them make smart choices and get the most out of what they bought.
That builds trust too, doesn't it? Like you're on their side.
It really does.
Right.
And then how do you talk about all this? Because it's not just shouting sale anymore.
Right.
It's about transparent communication of value propositions. You need to clearly articulate why your product offers superior value, hitting on those different dimensions. Maybe it's the durability or the sustainable sourcing or the amazing customer service.
And being honest about price.
Yes, embracing transparent pricing where possible. Breaking down costs can build incredible trust, showing you're not hiding anything.
Yeah.
Then think about meaningful loyalty programs.
Beyond just points for discounts.
Way beyond, offering real exclusive benefits. Maybe early access, personalized perks, things that make loyal customers feel genuinely special and recognized.
Making them feel valued, not just like a data point.
Exactly. Which brings us to personalization and customization. Using data smartly to tailor offers or even products to individual preferences. That feels incredibly valuable.
And sustainability, you mentioned that's growing.
Hugely. So positioning sustainability as a value add is key. Many smart spenders will actively choose and even pay a bit more for brands that align with their environmental or social values. It's conscious consumption.
Okay. Any other levers brands can pull?
A couple more. Considering flexible pricing models, things like tiered options, subscriptions, pay-as-you-go, can cater to different needs and value perceptions. Also, emphasizing the total cost of ownership.
Looking beyond the initial price tag.
Right. Helping customers see the long-term value from, say, energy efficiency or low maintenance costs or high resale value, that resonates with smart spenders thinking long-term.
That's a really comprehensive toolkit. Okay, let's make it real. Can you give us some examples of companies that are really nailing this smart spender approach? Who gets it?
Sure. Costco is a classic example. They've mastered value, but definitely not just by being the cheapest on every single item.
Right, their model is different.
It is. They use a limited SKU model. Stocking fewer items gives them massive buying power. Better deals from suppliers mean better prices for members.
And their store brand, Kirkland Signature.
Hugely successful. It's built enormous trust through consistent high quality. People genuinely rely on it.
Right.
Then the membership model creates exclusivity and encourages buying in bulk. And they're famous for transparent pricing, that maximum 15% markup rule. You know you're getting a fair deal.
That transparency is key. Okay, who else? Maybe someone unexpected.
How about Unilever's Dollar Shave Club? They really tapped into that desire for convenience and clear value.
The subscription model, right.
Exactly. A simple subscription plus a direct-to-consumer approach cut out the middleman, delivering value right to your door. Then they smartly expanded the product line, not just razors anymore. And crucially, their marketing.
Yeah, very distinctive.
Very. Humorous, relatable, a bit irreverent. It built a really strong emotional connection. It wasn't just about shaving. It was about belonging to a brand that got them.
Okay, interesting. Now, what about a company like Airbnb? They aren't always the cheapest travel option, but they clearly provide massive value for a lot of smart spenders. How does that work?
Airbnb is fascinating because their value is so multi-layered and really goes beyond just price. First, diverse offerings. You can find anything from a super cheap spare room to a luxury villa, so they cater to different value needs for different trips.
Right, depends what you're looking for.
Then there's the focus on authentic local experiences. Often that feels more valuable and sometimes is actually more cost-effective than a standard hotel. Their review system is also critical.
Building trust.
Massive trust and transparency. You can really check out hosts and guests. And they invest a lot in educating hosts and guests to ensure smooth stays and maximize the value for everyone involved.
Okay, one more. A big purchase category. Cars. Toyota seems to have appealed to smart spenders for ages. What's their secret sauce?
Toyota is a great example. Their appeal is built on a few core pillars. First, legendary reliability. They consistently rank high in dependability. That means lower running costs, less hassle, huge long-term value.
Peace of mind again.
Definitely. Second, their cars typically hold their value very well. Strong resale value is a major plus for cost-conscious buyers thinking about the total cost of ownership.
Right, what you get back when you sell it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were also way ahead of the curve on hybrid technology, addressing fuel efficiency and environmental concerns early on, which are big value points for many. And historically, many of their dealers used no-haggle pricing.
Taking the stress out of buying.
Right. That straightforward approach builds trust and appeals to people who just want fair value without playing games.
It's so clear from these examples. Winning in this market, the smart spender market, it's really not about a race to the bottom on price. It's about truly understanding and delivering on all these different facets of value.
That's the bottom line.
And for brands, understanding this, catering to it, it's not just a nice to have anymore, is it? It feels like a necessity now for survival, for growth.
I agree. It requires moving beyond just thinking about price and really digging into our complex, interconnected benefits that consumers are actively seeking out today.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, maybe something for you, our listener, to think about. Consider what value really means in your own life. Go beyond just the price tag for a moment.
Hmm.
How might applying these broader ideas, thinking about the quality, the convenience, the experience, maybe that emotional satisfaction we talked about, how might that change your own purchasing decisions day to day? What could looking deeper reveal about your own smart spending habits and the things you truly prioritize, maybe without even realizing it?